Ever since the first Mortal Kombat game in 1992, I became a huge fan of the franchise and its lore. I remember the 10-year-old me at the time dreaming of getting a Mortal Kombat animated movie or series that could capture the secret sauce of the first games of the franchise. I also remembered being very disappointed by the first animated adaptation, The Journey Begins, as well as the Defenders of the Realm Saturday morning cartoon.
Combat time!
But yet, I never lost hope. In fact, I remember asking Ed Boon himself back in E3 2005 about the possibility of a bloody and violent Mortal Kombat animated feature, to which Mr. Boon looked surprised as I asked for it, as there was obviously nothing planned at the time. Fast forward to 2020 and now we finally have the real true first Mortal Kombat animated adventure. But now that it is available digitally, is this animated feature a flawless victory, or is it a harakiri of any future animated Mortal Kombat project? I want to go ahead and mention that this is a spoiler-free review, so you can watch it without watching the movie first. Directed by Ethan Spalding with a script from Jeremy Adams, Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge is Warner Brothers' first venture in Mortal Kombat in animated form after the company acquired the rights back in 2009. This first feature is a retelling of the first game intertwined with Scorpion's backstory. When I first saw the Scorpion's Revenge subtitle and read how this is a retelling of the first tournament, I thought that a subtitle is just a marketing grab, since NetherRealm Studios has been putting Scorpion on the front of every Mortal Kombat thing ever created. And I had hoped that we get a proper retelling of Mortal Kombat 1 that will be seen as the first step towards more adaptations of the subsequent games. If you are like me and want a faithful adaptation of the game lore, then you will be somewhat disappointed. Agreed that most of the movie follows the game's plot almost perfectly, but the ending takes many, and I mean many, questionable liberties. Having the tragic story of Scorpion combined with the Mortal Kombat 1 tournament tale is an interesting idea, but definitely shows how challenging it was for the writers. While the movie starts very strong with Scorpion's backstory and then seamlessly converges towards the Mortal Kombat 1 story in a beautiful way, things start to get convoluted after the tournament story begins. You could easily feel how the writers were trying at times to shoehorn Scorpion into events and situations that just felt very wrong and quite unnatural for the character. The ending was the most convoluted part, as it just stopped making sense and felt way too rushed and not earned. The 1 hour and 20 minute runtime was definitely too short to properly tell both Scorpion and the tournament stories and give them proper due. Some characters who are important to the story are turned into glorified cameos, like the very important Sub-Zero, who has 2 very short scenes in the movie, or even Liu Kang, who starts as the second most important character of the movie, to only be completely disrespected in so many ways. The movie ends with many cliffhanger stings, giving us the impression that this is just the beginning of a Mortal Kombat animated universe. But if they keep only focusing on Scorpion and leaving all the other great cast of Mortal Kombat as B characters, then this franchise will be in trouble. While I love Scorpion, I think the ninja works better as a secondary character and not a main one. There's only so many times you can show how Scorpion is strong and how he keeps fighting regardless of the odds and how his rage keeps him going. While about 90% of the story is a perfect representation of the game's lore, that 10% where Scorpion is shown better and stronger than everyone is really problematic and forced. As you would expect from an animated adaptation created after many of the game's sequels, Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge contains a number of Easter eggs, cameos from some obscure characters, as well as foreshadowing for things to come. The animation style for the movie is quite unique. While the characters look sometimes quite stiff during dialogue scenes, the animation during action scenes is outstanding. And speaking of action, Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge has plenty of action scenes, almost too many, as the pace of the story takes a hit during the second half of the movie, which was almost a non-stop fight after fight. All the characters were modeled after the Mortal Kombat X appearances, which shows since how long this project has been in development. While the Mortal Kombat X costumes are one of the series' best, I would have preferred if the filmmakers gave the characters the Mortal Kombat 1 or 2 costumes, especially since some of the Mortal Kombat X outfits do not look good in animated form, like Kitana's for example, or the choice of the Scorpion's weird mask. If there's one feature in Mortal Kombat games that is unique to the franchise, is of course the gore and violence, and Scorpion's Revenge does not shy away. The fights are brutal, bloody, and insanely gore. This is not your typical Warner Brothers animated movie. Fatalities and X-ray moves are plenty and very satisfying for this huge Mortal Kombat fan. The voice cast for Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge is populated by some great actors. Patrick Seitz reprises his role of Scorpion, and Hanzo Hasashi from Mortal Kombat X. Jennifer Carpenter is Sonya, Steve Blum is Sub-Zero, but the highlight of the movie is Joel McHale's Johnny Cage. The community star's wit and fast-told jokes works wonderfully for the cocky Cage. The soundtrack is also great and fits the Mortal Kombat eerie atmosphere quite well. So all in all, Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion Revenge is a good first step with many problems for an eventual Mortal Kombat animated universe. The animation style, voice acting, and action are all worthy of the bloody 25+ years old franchise. But the decision to focus on Scorpion while trying to retell the first tournament story was not a wise idea, as neither plots were given the respect, story, and length they deserved. The fact to make Scorpion as the true hero of the movie felt forced and shoehorned, and reduced some very important characters to cameos or worse, showed them to be incompetent and inferior to Scorpion. So what would be my final score for the movie? I give Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge 7 out of 10, hoping the eventual sequels focus on other characters and keep Scorpion as an important secondary character. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll be having another video where I will discuss the plot in details. Of course, it's gonna be spoiler filled, and then you guys also will let me know what you think, or you share the same opinion that I have of this movie, which I love and also not like for many reasons, which I didn't want to go into specifics here in this spoiler-free review. Now again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, thank you for watching.